Hey y'all, thanks for joining me on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My brows are already done in this video, but I am doing a very detailed eye look with lashes, and I'm also using my Morphe 35M palette. And the first color that I am going to use, I'm going to pack in a dark purple. Also for my brows, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills in Ebony. And I use LA Girl Pro Concealer in Beautiful Bronze 987. Now here you'll see me packing on this royal blue color that comes from the Urban Decay palette. It's a very old palette that I am finally getting to use. I have so many makeup palettes that I don't know what to do with it. And I'm just going to pack this on directly over that dark purple. But as you can see, I'm kind of overlapping in some areas, because when you overlap on top of a color, it changes the pigment in that color, so it'll help you with a very detailed blend. The most important thing when doing eye makeup is having a great blend. And then I'm coming back with that dark purple, and I am packing that on. As you can tell, when I started to add that royal blue on top of it, it starts to take away that dark purple. So what you do is pack that dark purple back on again. And once you pack that dark purple on, it'll bring back that pigment that you was looking for in the beginning. All right, now I'm going back with that Morphe 35M palette, and I'm actually going with another shade purple. But as you can tell, once I get into packing that purple on, it's not as bright as I wanted it to be. So I'll add a fuchsia color on top to give me that pigment that I need, because right now the colors are still looking too dark and I needed something brighter to make it pop around the brow bone. And again, you're going to pack that purple and also fuchsia right on top of that royal blue. And there's that fuchsia color that I was telling y'all about. And you just want to pack it on top. And whenever you're blending, you need to consider this fact. It's like having a husband who have kids and a wife who have kids. And whenever they marry, the family is blended. So that means the husband bring his part to the table, the wife bring her part to the table. And once they put them together, that's when they create something different. So that's how that blue on top of that, that fuchsia on top of that royal blue work together. And now I'm going back and I'm going to pack that royal blue color back on, because I lost some of my pigment as I started to apply that purple and that fuchsia color. So I'm bringing my colors back. I'm going back in with that fuchsia color to make it stand out and give me a great blend. Looks like that Jolly Rancher color. That's a great blend. All right, for my next step, I'm going to add the P. Louise concealer in the zero point 0.5. And as I apply the concealer on my lid, you notice that I look up, and therefore that'll let me know exactly where my crease is. Then I start going inward to make that crease. And yes, that's the same concealer brush that I use for my brows. Sometimes I will use a separate brush, but others it's just concealer. The only time I use a different one is if I want that white to really stand out. But once I start to blend it in, you're going to notice that that white is going to blend with that dark blue. I mean that dark purple and that dark blue. And then my concealer is going to change colors anyway. So as you can tell, I'm checking this concealer out, and that cut crease is not as big as I want it. So I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to extend it up a little higher to give me a better cut crease. Or shall I say a bigger cut crease. And whenever you're doing a cut crease, you want to make sure that line is precise. It is time consuming, but you have a great result in the end. And right here, yeah, my head's down a little bit, but I'm taking that same brush that I used to blend my concealer in when I did my brows, and I am just blending in that concealer. Some people like to set theirs with a powder. The only time I set my concealer with a powder is right before I get ready to do brows. Now after I did that cut crease, I'm coming in with that same royal blue that I had before that was above that purple, and I'm just doing it on the outer corner. And I'm just going to pack it in until I get the pigment that I desire. Some pigments require you to pack on a lot in order for you to get the color shade that you want. Others are highly pigment, and all you have to do is pack on a little. And that's that same royal blue from the Urban Decay palette. Make sure you pack it on so you can get that great pigment that you're looking for. Also, if you don't put enough pigment on there or eyeshadow, what's going to happen is it's going to start to crease. And nothing hurts more than you finishing a bomb look and then that crease, that cut crease, have creases in it. Now I am packing on this loose pigment by J. LaRue. I think that's how you say her name. She have the best loose pigments, the shimmers at least anyway. Neon pigments, Glitter Life, definitely the person to go to. What I like about J. LaRue pigments is you do not need glitter. It has a shimmer already. Give you the perfect look that you desire. So after I pack on that J. LaRue, honestly, y'all, I take my pigment out and put them in separate containers so they won't fall out. And I actually forgot the name of this pigment. So if you look them up on Instagram and you go to their website, you're going to know exactly which one it is. It's kind of like a turquoise color. And what I did was I went back in with my royal blue and I'm packing on that outer corner so I can have a better blend. I don't want my shimmer to come too far out in the outer corner. I kind of want it to be in the inner corner and fading into the middle of the eye. All right, so for my next step, what I'm going to do is apply my gel liner from Anastasia. The gel liner is perfect. I love it. And I have some disposable little wands for me to apply my liner with. I have some that I can use for myself. These are the ones that I usually use for my clients, but this was the only one that I had on hand. And when I'm applying my liner, what I usually do is store it in the middle of the eye because that's where the most product will land. And then I'll start fading into the inner corner. I'm not so much doing a wing liner. I'm just basically putting liner on the lid. Y'all, this gel liner is perfect. I can tell you this, if you leave that cap off too long, it will dry out and you'll be lost your $18. Alright, this is a Sephora liner. I rarely use these liners. I'm just the same basic black liner, but I decided to do something just a little different on this one. I love the turquoise color. It really made the eye pop. Only thing I don't like about those colorful liners and those white liners is it gets into your eye and then you start seeing fuzzy the whole day. But I can say that the Sephora brand, it don't have you seeing that fuzzy or blurry color like the white NYX liner. Alright, then that same raw blue that I used up top on the lid, I'm going underneath my bottom lid and just put some underneath there. Just to make it pop a little bit. As you can tell, when I put that blue shadow underneath, it makes that turquoise pop a little bit more. So usually what I do is I try to use a patting motion, because when you use a patting motion, it allows the colors to stay in place and you have a great pigment. When you start rubbing it in, like I'm doing now, that's when you start to lose some of your pigment. So I like to pat first and then I will rub it to blend it in. Okay, y'all. So on this part, I was applying my lashes and I did not have the appropriate lash glue that I usually use. And once I tried to put those lashes on, it was a disaster. So the part that y'all looking at now, that's the part that I actually was able to get right. Now this is the part where my original glue would have stuck in place the first time. And that's the end result. After playing around with them for a long time, I was finally able to apply those lashes. I was going to edit this part out, but I have to let everybody see that y'all not the only one struggle with these lashes sometimes, especially if you don't have the correct glue. So this is the end result. Y'all didn't see me put the Urban Decay metal glitter in the inner corner of my eye, but I used the Gamma Ray. I think that's the name of it, turquoise. And that is the end result. Thank y'all so much for watching with me. Make sure you like and subscribe and even share. If you have any comments, you can leave them below.